Good morning, students. Good morning, Amina, Shravani. Am I audible? Yeah. So today we have to continue current electricity chapter. Do one thing. Try to quickly revise Kirchhoff's voltage law. KVL you revise once. Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. So try to revise Kirchhoff's voltage law. Take some time, 1 minute like that. Good morning. Good morning. So try to revise Kirchhoff's voltage law. So let us quickly use once Kirchhoff's voltage law once more in this circuit. Okay. So suppose you have a battery and you have an internal resistance and there is a external resistance. Battery, internal resistance, external resistance. Every battery will have some EMF and some internal resistance. And this is the external resistance. So using Kirchhoff's voltage law, you have to usually find current in the circuit. So this is just one circuit. There is only one loop, So only one current will be there. You can assume the direction of current wherever you want. But if you already have idea, because you already know current goes from positive terminal to negative terminal, then do that only. So current is, let us say I. Then what you do is you apply KVL in loop. Let us call this loop A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, A. So in this loop, let us apply. So first thing, I start from one point and I come back to this point. According to Kirchhoff's voltage law, as you move along the circuit, right, there will be some potential differences because sometimes you will see battery. So there will be some potential difference for battery, that is EMF. Then there will be sometimes resistor. And in that resistor, if there is current, then there will be potential difference according to Ohm's law. If there is a resistor R and current I, potential difference will be I into R. So when you add all the potential difference and you come back to the same point, the algebraic sum should be how much? Quickly. The algebraic sum of the potential differences should be zero. Okay. So now if algebraic sum is zero, it means some potential differences will be positive, some potential differences will be negative. Then only it will come zero, right? Now how to decide? That is up to you. What I do is, if it is potential drop, I take positive. And if it is potential rise, I take negative. If you want to do ulta, you can do, no problem. So I start from this terminal. I go like this. First I see this battery. So when I go from plus to minus, there is a potential drop. How much? EMF. So it will be plus E, because it is drop, potential drop. Then for this resistor, you have to check the current direction. I have shown current this way. Matlab in this resistor, current I have shown this way. And in this resistor, I have shown current this way. Now you all know current flows from higher potential to lower potential. So if I show current this way, this point must be plus, this point must be minus. So when I go like this, I am moving like this. For this resistor, you can see I am going against the current.
against the current if you go, it is always potential rise, because against the current if you go, you are going from negative potential to positive potential. Remember, current flows from higher potential to lower potential, but I am going this way. So I am going from lower potential to higher potential. That is a rise, and rise we take negative. So what will be the potential difference for this resistor? I into R, but minus. Similarly, I come back here. Now, when I come to this resistor, again I am going opposite to current. Since I am going opposite to current, potential difference will be minus because it will be rise. I am going from this way. If current is shown this way, this is plus, this is minus. So I am going ulta. I am going from minus to plus. So that is a rise. So rise will be minus I into capital R. So once you come back to this point, the total algebraic sum of all the potential differences, that should be 0. Okay. So keep this formula in mind. Today we have to do some numerical exercise, I know, but before doing that, I want to do one topic from the next session. So next session we have some instruments. So why I'm doing next session first topic is because it is directly related to Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, so if you do it now, you will easily understand. Okay, so I will do that topic first, then I'll come back and solve the numericals. Very, very important topic, the next one. It comes regularly basis, usually for 5 marks in board exam. 5 marks. Okay, and the question will be like this. Okay, derive balance condition. Please write down. Please write down. Don't be lazy. So derive balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge circuit. So derive balance condition of Wheatstone bridge circuit. So this is a name of a person. Wheatstone bridge. Sorry, Wheatstone is name of the person. Bridge, I think it is called for some reason which I will explain to you. So it is also called Wheatstone bridge circuit. So we have to derive balance condition. First, you should ask, what is Wheatstone bridge, sir? So Wheatstone bridge is a network of resistors. It is a network of resistors, which looks like this. Look here. So Wheatstone bridge circuit looks like this. Okay. There will be one resistor here, one resistor here, one resistor here, one resistor here. Okay. And here we will connect a battery. And here we will put a galvanometer. Galvanometer. Okay. So this is a galvanometer. Let me mention here. The device which I have shown is galvanometer. Galvanometer. Anyone knows what is the function of galvanometer? What is the function of galvanometer? Measure small current. Yeah, basically galvanometer to show direction. Yeah, that is also correct. Detection of current. Yeah. So basically it detects current, and the beauty of galvanometer is it can detect direction also. Ammeter cannot do that. Ammeter's needle will be at the bottom. So if this is your ammeter, the needle will be at here, at 0. So if you send current in proper direction like this, the needle will deflect like this. But if you send current in the ulta, opposite direction, the needle cannot deflect. So in ammeter, the needle will not deflect if you connect it wrongly. If you connect it wrongly. But galvanometer, it doesn't matter how you connect, because galvanometer's needle will stay at the middle, like this. So the needle of the galvanometer will stay in the middle. So if you send current this way through the device, it will deflect this way. If you send current this way, it will deflect that way. Okay, so whichever way you connect, it will deflect. And by seeing the deflection, you will come to know that somebody has changed the direction of current. So if you send current in one direction, it will deflect one side. If you send current in opposite direction, it will deflect other side. What is the working of galvanometer? How does it work? Why does it show deflection like this? All that we will study in the chapter magnetism. What chapter? Magnetism. Okay. So please remember that galvanometer, we have to study the construction and everything. In second PU, everything is there. But right now, just remember, we will just use galvanometer to detect the direction of current. And note one thing. If there is no current, then the galvanometer's needle will be in the center. So that time it is called balanced. So it is not going like this also, like this also. It is balanced. In the middle, it is balanced. So maybe that's why it is called bridge. Okay. So I will explain to you, don't worry. So remember, when no current flows, the galvanometer's needle will be at the middle. Okay, so what we have to do is first we have to name the resistances. So this resistance I will write P, this resistance I will write Q, this I will write R, this I will write S. That order is important, okay? P, Q, R, S. Again, do it with me, P, Q, R, S, okay? P, Q, R, S. So this is the way we will name the resistance, and this galvanometer also will have some resistance. We will call it capital G. Okay, this battery may have some EMF, E let us say. Now, what we have to find is balance condition. What is the meaning of balance condition? Balance condition means that condition when the galvanometer is balanced. By balance, what do I mean? No current should flow this side. No current should flow this side. That is the meaning of the bridge is balanced. Okay, so mention somewhere. Balance condition means no current in galvanometer. No current through galvanometer. No current through galvanometer. Okay, so keep that in mind. Balance condition means no current through galvanometer. So now let us find the condition. So what we will do, first we will assign current. Okay, first we will show the direction of current. So let us say from this battery, listen carefully everyone. From this battery, let us say the current here is I. Okay, I. Now this current I will divide here. Let us say it is going here I1 and I2. I1 goes here, I2 goes here. Okay. Now this I1 comes here, and here let us say IG will go. IG. Then how much will go here? This is galvanometer. This is P. This is Q. I'm saying 10 amperes comes here, 2 amperes goes there. Then how much should go here? Apply Kirchhoff's current law here, current law. If 10 ampere is coming, 2 ampere is going here, how much should go here? Here how much should go? 8 ampere, right? So like that, let us not try to make new variables. Let us not try to create more number of variables. So let us not write I1, IG, here I3, I4, I5 like that. This is not I4, no. So let us try to reduce the number of variables. So if I say I1 is coming and IG is going here, remaining will go here. So how much will be this? I1 minus IG. What I have done, I have applied Kirchhoff's current law. I1 is coming, IG is going here, remaining will go here. Remaining matlab I1 minus IG. Now at this point you observe carefully. Here you don't need to write new current. Better, no need, because see, IG is coming, I2 is coming. So how much will go here? How much will go here? IG is also coming, I2 is also coming. I2, others, what about others? See, these two are coming. together. So how much will go here? I2 plus IG. Okay. See, I hope you remember KCL. KCL says what? KCL says the sum of currents entering is equal to sum of currents leaving. So if 2 ampere comes, 6 ampere comes, 8 ampere should go. I2 plus IG. Then finally, here, this will come, this will come, this will add. So when this and this will add, what will happen? Minus IG and plus IG will cancel. So here how much will be there? I1 plus I2. But I1 plus I2 is nothing but this I. Yes or no? So this will be finally, this will be I. Okay. So draw the circuit first. Everyone, draw the circuit and show the current direction. Carefully you show. Okay. Done? Okay. So now let us call this point. Let us say this is A, B, C, D. Let us use small letters. So what we will do, we will apply KVL in, KVL is applied in loop or junction. KVL is always applied in loop. So the first loop, let me choose A, B, D, A. A, B, D, A. So I'm going to start from A, go to B, go to D, come to A like this. When I do like that, potential differences when you add, you should get 0. Potential drop, if you are moving along the current, we take positive. If you move opposite to current, we take negative. So I will always move this way, okay? This way. Here also, here later I will go. First, let me go to this loop. So let us start. From A to B, along the current. So it will be plus. What is the potential difference here? Here. Current into resistance. Ohm's law. Okay. This part is over. Now here. Again, I am moving like this, remember, like this. So when I go here along the current plus, what will be the potential difference for this galvanometer? Current into resistance. Then I will come back here. So here, see how I am moving. Opposite to current or not? Current I have shown this side. But here I am moving opposite. So what I should write? Minus. What is the potential difference? Current into resistance. Right? Once you reach this point, the algebraic sum should be 0. Okay? So call this equation 1. Now apply KVL in loop. Next loop, let us choose this one. B, C, D, B. Try to do yourself. Try to do once. See how much you will get. Along the current, we take positive. Against the current, we take negative. And this way we move. Along the current. So it will be positive. What is the potential difference for this? Current is I1 minus IG. Don't forget. Current in this resistor into resistance. That is your potential difference according to Ohm's law. Here it is along the current. Here it is opposite to current. I am going this way, na? So opposite to current. So minus. Current is how much? I2 plus IG. Resistance of this is S. Then here again you can see I am moving this way. So here along the current, here opposite to current. Here also I am moving opposite to current. So it will be minus current into resistance.
Once you reach the same point, the algebraic sum should be 0. Equation 2.
Yeah, I1 minus Ig into Q, correct? Minus, correct? Minus, correct. Yeah. So where to put plus, where to put minus, please check carefully. Yeah. So once you have written these two equations, right, fast, then what we have to derive? Remember, we have to derive balance condition. Balance condition means
when the current in the galvanometer is 0. So for balance condition, current in the galvanometer,
which I have written Ig,
should be 0.
right?
So because of this, what will happen to equation 1? Tell me. Equation 1 will become what? I1P plus Ig is 0. So this term will be 0. Minus I2R will be equal to 0.
Correct now? Because this term will be 0 for balance condition.
Now you take this one that side. So I1P will be equal to I2R. Equation 3.
It may not be visible. Yeah. So put Ig 0 in the first equation so that you can find the condition for balance.
So once you put Ig 0, this equation becomes like this. Take this one that side and make it equation 3. Now tell me what will happen to this equation when the circuit is balanced.
What will happen to equation 2?
So equation 2 becomes when
balance condition is there, which means Ig is 0.
What will you get? Ig is 0. So it will be plus I1, this is 0 into Q, minus Ig is 0. I2, Ig is 0. I2 plus 0, I2 into S. Ig is 0. So this is out, equal to 0. Correct? Similar to this equation you get. Then take this one that side. I1Q should be equal to I2S. This is your equation 4.
Yeah. I1Q equal to I2S. Correct. Now,
listen carefully.
That means for the circuit to be balanced, matlab for no current to flow here, this equation should be satisfied. This equation also should be satisfied. Both should be satisfied. Now, if both equations are satisfied, their ratio also should be satisfied. Ratio. Yes or no?
4 equal to 4, correct. 2 equal to 2, correct. So ratio also will be correct. 4 by 2 will be equal to 4 by 2. That is also correct.
So what we will do, we will take ratio of equation 3 and 4.
So let us divide equation 3 by 4.
Dividing
equation 3 by 4. So what will we get on the left side of equation 3? I1P divided by left side of equation 4. I1Q. That side, right side is I2R. In equation 3, we are dividing with equation 4. No, so divide I2S. I1 cancel madi, I2 cancel.
So finally, what will be your answer?
Finally, your result will be a very simple
and very important result which everyone should remember.
P by Q should be equal to R by S. So please remember, this is the important condition. So this is the balance condition. This is the balance condition.
Okay, so if you know Kirchhoff's voltage law, this derivation is very, very simple and you will get full 5 marks.
So remember, apply KVL in a loop. When you go along the current, drop. Along the current, drop. Opposite to current,
rise. And for along the current drop, we are taking negative. For opposite to current, we are taking sorry, for along the current we are taking positive, correct or not? Plus to minus drop we are taking positive, opposite to current we are taking negative. So once you do that and you will get this equation, divide these two equations, you will get balance condition. So this is called balance condition of Wheatstone bridge. So remember, whenever P by Q, now you have to know the order. So don't put P here, Q here, R here, S here, and then write the same condition. So what you should remember is like this. This divided by this should be equal to this divided by this. If you remember that way, it doesn't matter whether you write A, B, C, D. If I write A, B, C, D, what will be the condition? A divided by B should be equal to C divided by D. Okay, students, remember that way. Let me repeat. This resistor divided by this resistor should be equal to this resistor divided by this resistor. If that is satisfied, then what we know? No current will flow this way. It is like the symmetry which I have taught you in the Thursday class. Okay, symmetry. So since no current is going this side, it means what? This point and this point will be at same potential. So then you can remove this part. To find the equivalent resistance, you can remove this part if this is satisfied. If this condition is satisfied, only then. Okay, so write down. Done? Everyone done? Okay. Sometimes the circuit will not look like Wheatstone bridge, but actually it is Wheatstone bridge only. For example, Thursday class, when I was solving NEET MCQs, NEET level MCQ, one of the question came, the first question for that day. And I changed the question because that time I had not taught you Wheatstone bridge circuit. Remember, no? So I had changed the circuit. I made all the resistor equal. Now let us do that question so that now only we can easily understand. Okay. So NEET question number 31. Just write the question carefully. That's enough. So they have given you a circuit like this. They have given you a circuit like this. This is 1 ohm. This is 2 ohm. This is 10 ohm. This is 4 ohm. This is 2 ohm. Okay. So what the question is to find equivalent resistance between A and B. This terminal is A, this terminal is B. The first thing you should realize, students, is the moment you see this circuit, it is nothing but Wheatstone bridge. This like this only, like this, like this, like this. So let me try to quickly show you how it is like that. So call this point C, call this point D. Just yourself, you give some names. Now see, this is A terminal, right? So from A terminal, you are going to C terminal through this 1 ohm. So from A terminal, you are going to C terminal, C point through this resistance, 1 ohm. Then from A, you are again going to D, remember, see, through this resistor. So again from A, you are going to D through this upper resistance. Then you can see this B, let us draw B here. From C, it is connected to B through this lower resistance, right? See, this 2 ohm is between which point? C and B. So C and B. This is your 2 ohm. And this is between which point? 4 ohm. D and B. D and B. Where is this? Where is this 10 ohm? Can you tell me where is this 10 ohm here? Between? Sanjay, make your comments public. It is between C and D, in the middle. Okay. So this is your 10 ohm. So now students, you see here, if you draw this line like this, you will see that there is no symmetry. This is 1, this is 2. So symmetry is not there. So we cannot use the symmetry concept. On top of that, if you check, these two are not in series because current is dividing here. It is dividing. Again, you check, these two are not in parallel also. They are not in parallel. Parallel means this end should be joined. Other ends also should be joined directly. So this point and this point are not joined directly. There is a resistor in the middle. There is a resistor in the middle, right? So to find the equivalent resistance of this circuit, we cannot use symmetry and we cannot also use series parallel concept. However, check whenever you get this kind of circuit, it is a Wheatstone bridge circuit. So check whether the Wheatstone bridge is balanced or not balanced. Most of the time it will be balanced. Almost 99.9% it will be balanced. Check once it is balanced or not. How to check? P by Q should be equal to R by S. So once you convert this circuit into this circuit, you know it is a Wheatstone bridge. Now check whether the circuit is balanced or not. Check, everyone check means it is balanced or not. What is P by Q equal to? P by Q matlab this divided by this. So this is your P, this is your Q. So 1 by 2. R by S. This is your R, this is your S. So 2 by 4. That is nothing but 1 by 2. So since that, therefore the circuit is balanced. The circuit is balanced Wheatstone bridge. Balanced Wheatstone bridge. Since it is balanced Wheatstone bridge, since it is balanced, what you can do? No current will flow here. Ig will be 0. Remember I told Ig, think this is galvanometer, no problem. So since no current will go there, so no current goes through, no current through 10 ohm. So 10 ohm is useless. Useless because it is not getting current only. It is not going to resist current because there is no current going. So why it will resist current? So what you can do? You can remove 10 ohm. So if the circuit is balanced, students, then you can remove the middle one. Once you remove the middle one, it is very easy now. These two are in series. These two are in series. Correct now? No junction in the middle, no junction in the middle. So this circuit will now become 1 and 2 in series will become 3. In series, we have to add 2 and 4 in series will become 6 between A and B. So this circuit will simplify to this circuit, and then you can see these two are in parallel. So total resistance between A and B will be equal to, since it is parallel, use the formula R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So 18 by 9, 2 ohm. Okay, so check whichever is 2 ohm, tick that one. Okay, if you have the material, if you don't have also, it doesn't matter right now. This is the answer. Okay, let us go back. So now we will solve some numericals based on Kirchhoff's voltage law. So please write down quickly. Okay, don't you have doubt, sir? What if it is not balanced like that? 99.9% it will be balanced, but 0.1% is still there. Hello? Are you not interested to know what will happen if it is not balanced? So if it is not balanced, then you can neither use symmetry here. No symmetry, no Wheatstone bridge concept. So you will have to go back to Kirchhoff's voltage law. And one of the question at the last in this numerical exercise will be like that. So that time you will learn how to do it. If you cannot apply this concept also, then you have to go back to Kirchhoff's voltage law. But that will be very lengthy. Okay, but anyways, in board exam for 5 marks, you have to do at least 1 page, no? Okay, so that time you will come to know. Okay, last problem for this numerical exercise.
So so don't think Kirchhoff's voltage law is used only to find current. You can also use it to find equivalent resistance. You will see one example later.
Okay, so let us start with numerical exercise.
Number I don't remember. Anyone knows the number? Yeah, 3.1. Or no, not 3.1. I forgot the question. So this is the
Numerical exercise. Anyone knows the number of the numerical exercise? 3.3. Question number 1 we already did.
question number 2 you see.
So in the question they have mentioned, okay, I don't have the exact written question. So what I have is there is a battery
which is connected to external resistance through a switch. So S is your switch. The resistance external is 50 ohm and the battery also has internal resistance. Now listen carefully what they are saying. When switch is open, the potential difference between the terminals of the cell, is given in the question 50 volt. 50 volt. This is when the
switch is open.
And when switch is closed, potential difference between terminals of the cell is given 49 volt. You have to find R.
So you have to find internal resistance. External resistance is given. Now I hope all of you know the differences that I gave you between EMF and terminal voltage. EMF is potential difference between the terminals of the cell when no current is drawn, when no current is taken. No current is taken matlab
when the switch is open. So whatever first part they gave you, this is nothing but EMF, which we write E. So E they have given 50 volts. Okay.
So just check your notes. You will remember that EMF is also potential difference between the terminals when no current is drawn. And once you close the switch, then current will flow. Then if you measure the potential difference, it will be so far less. Why it was less if you remember? Because
there will be some potential drop in this internal resistance. So that we call terminal voltage. So this is your terminal voltage. And for that we write V. So V is 49 volt.
Okay, so the first sentence gives you EMF. Second sentence, when it is closed, it gives you terminal voltage. Now we have to find internal resistance.
Let us see what formulas we know. We know one formula, V equals to E minus I into small r.
Right? This formula we all know. Yes or no? So this formula we know.
Now, this is used when the circuit is closed. Right? So this is your terminal voltage. This is your EMF. This is the current in the circuit once it is closed. And this is the internal resistance. What is V means? Potential difference here, which I can also write, which I will do later. But first you see this equation.
Okay. So now
to find internal resistance, I don't need current here. So what I will do here, look carefully. I will divide both the sides by V. So divide by V.
Okay, your result will come much faster.
So if you divide by V, see what will happen here. 1 equals to E by V minus I into small r divided by V. Right? Okay. Now you see 1 equals to E by V minus I into small r, and if you remember this V, I can also write using this resistor, because once it is closed, terminal voltage here and potential difference here should be same only. So for this resistor, how I can write V? For this resistor, current into resistance. So for this capital V, I can write current into resistance. So this way, if you do, don't put here, okay? Here you put. So that, see what will happen now? Current will cancel. Current will cancel. Then you bring this small r by capital R this side. And this will give you E by V minus 1. Then you cross multiply. So your small r will be E by V minus 1 into capital R. So this relation is quite useful for your entrance exams also. So put some star mark. Okay. So what is the formula I derived? The formula that I derived is relation between internal resistance, EMF, terminal voltage, and external resistance. So small r equals to E by V minus 1 into R. Please memorize once, all of you. Because later when we do entrance level questions, we have already started. Some pending questions are there. This will be very useful. So what is small r? E by V minus 1 into capital R. E by V minus 1 into capital R. Okay, so E is the EMF, which means when you buy the battery, whatever is the potential difference that time, that is called EMF. Because when you buy, they will not give you battery with some mobile phone connected. No, they will not give you battery with some TV connected to it. They will just give you battery. So it will be open circuit that time. No current is taken that time. So that time, whatever is the potential difference, that is called EMF. Once you connect it to some mobile phone or bulb, to some external resistance, current will flow. And then you have found that the potential difference will slightly decrease because of this I into small r, because of internal resistance. Okay, students, so keep that in mind. So in this problem, what was your EMF? 50. What was your terminal voltage? 49. What is the external resistance? 50. So that will be 50. Here I can write 1 by 49 LCM into 50. So 50 by 49 ohm. Okay, somebody please try to calculate this in decimal form. How much it is coming? 1.02. Yeah. So as you can notice, internal resistance are usually very small. That is why in school level, usually they neglect. And therefore, we start calling EMF same as terminal voltage. Because if small r is 0, then EMF and terminal voltage will be same. That is your question number 2. See question number 3 now. Question number 3 is interesting. Later, we will do question number 3 in another way for entrance. Not now. For entrance, we will do another way. But here, they have given you a cubical network. What network? Cubical network. And there are 12 resistors. Okay. And they have connected the diagonally opposite points to a battery of EMF 10 volt. Internal resistance they have not mentioned. You have to find the equivalent resistance and you have to find the current from the battery. So let us draw the diagram. So there is a cubical network. Like this. And here there is a resistor. 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 Resistor. Here there is a 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 resistor.
So there are 12 resistors like this in a cube,
and there you have to find between the diagonally opposite terminals, between these two,
you have to find the equivalent resistance. What resistance?
equivalent resistance, A and B.
Okay. So how shall, second question is which one? No worries, man. Don't worry about that. Let us first do this one. Okay. Shri Gauri, let us do this one first. This is question number 3 or 4, whatever number it is.
What number is this question? Can you check?
What number is this question? Question number 3. Previous question is what question? Previous question that I did. Question number 2. Then I have done no already. Shri Gauri. Okay. So let us do this one now. Look here. So this is very difficult because there are 12 resistors. So we cannot use here series parallel concept. However, symmetry we can use. But in board syllabus, you are not allowed to use symmetry because in board syllabus, symmetry is not there. Symmetry technique I taught to you so that you can do fast in exam, in entrance exam. Okay. So for board exam, you have to do it using Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. So first, look carefully what I will do. I will assume whatever current is coming from this, if I imagine a battery here, whatever current is coming is, let us say 6I. What is the current? 6I. Yeah. Thank you, Prakriti. So let us assume 6I. Now why I have taken 6I? If you take 6I, you can see this resistance, this resistance, this resistance, all are same, all are equal. The resistance of each value, the value of each resistance is how much they have mentioned, students? Can you tell me? I'm sorry. 1 ohm. So each one of them is 1 ohm. So since each resistor is same, when the current will come like this, it will divide equally. It will divide equally. So if 6I is coming, I can write here, look carefully students, here 3I, here, sorry, 2I, here 2I, and here 2I. Okay. So 6I current, I assume is coming from here. If you want, you can write I also, I. If you write I, then here you have to write I by 3, I by 3, I by 3. So it will divide equally in the 3 branches. And the reason is same. The reason is simple because each current will see the same resistance. So the resistance seen by this current, and this current is same. Okay, the path to reach here. So since this current and this current and this current are same, instead of writing I here, if I write I here, I have to write I by 3, I by 3, I by 3. That will bring fraction, which I don't want. So I will write 6I. So 6I, if I write, I can write 2I, 2I, 2I. Similarly, look here now. This 2I, when it reaches this point, it will divide here. Again, this path to reach here and this path to reach here is identical. Since the path is same, current will divide equally. This is called path symmetry actually. So whatever 2I is coming will divide here and here equally. So here I will go, here I will go. Similarly, this 2I which comes at this point will divide equally here and here to reach it, this way and this way. So this 2I will divide here I and I. Similarly, this 2I will divide here I and I. Now here in this branch, you don't need to make new current. New current no need, because look at this point. I is coming I is coming. So how much will go here? Quickly tell me without wasting too much time. I is coming from down, from up. I is coming from left side. So how much will go here? 2I. So this will be 2I. Similarly here, no need to write new current because you know already at this point, current I is coming, current I is coming. So this will be 2I. Right? And then you can see at this point, I is coming, so 2I. Right? Okay. Now they have put a battery here and the battery's EMF they have given 10 volt. Internal resistance is not mentioned, so I will take it 0. So they want you to find current from the battery. This 6I we have to calculate. So look at this circuit. Okay, first of all, everybody understood the distribution of current. Slowly I have tried to do so that everybody can understand easily. This distribution is clear or not clear? Why I took 6I like that? Try taking I. If you take I, it will become I by 3, I by 3, I by 3. Again, I by 3 will divide, I by 6, I by 6. So too much fraction will come. So I don't want that. I took 6I. Okay. Now, what we will do, we want to calculate this I. So what we will do, we will apply KVL in this loop. So let me call this is AB. Let me call this is C. This is B. And this battery, let me call this point as E. No problem. So I'm going to apply KVL in loop. Any loop you can choose, but choose a loop which will be easy to solve. So A, C, D, B, E. This E I'm giving this point name E, A. So A, C, D, B, E, A. So I am going to apply KVL in this loop. Okay, so let us start. From here I'll start. Along the current drop. So what is the current? 2I. What is the resistance of each resistance? R, let me write right now. R. So this is the potential difference. And drop I take positive. Along the current drop positive. Here also along the current. Plus I into resistance. R. Here again same direction I am moving. Plus 2I into resistance is R. And for battery, when I come here, I'm going from minus to plus. Minus to plus matlab rise. So it will be minus. For battery, please don't write I into R for battery. For battery, write EMF. So once you reach this point, that should be equal to 0. So the algebraic sum should be 0 like this. Okay, then it is very simple now. 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5 IR should be equal to EMF. So I will be what? EMF divided by 5R. Correct. But students, I don't want I. I want the current coming from battery. So therefore, current from battery. Current from battery is how much? 6I. It will be 6 EMF by 5R. Okay, so be careful. Don't think this is the answer. This is not the answer. We want current from the battery. So I want 6I. So current from battery is 6I. So that will be equal to 6 into, what is the EMF? 10. 5. External resistance for each one of them is 1 ohm. So 5 2s are, so answer is 12 amperes. So current from the battery is 12 amperes. Okay, easily we have done. Now we will find equivalent resistance. First you write. So apply KVL in this loop. You can try this loop also. This loop also. You will get same answer, I think. Obviously, you can try this loop also. Start from here, 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 come here, then come here, or like this, like this. like this, like this, like this, like this. So try different loops just for your practice. Okay. Fine. Once we got the current from the battery, how to find equivalent resistance? So this is the first example where we are using Kirchhoff's voltage law to find equivalent resistance. Okay, so look carefully. Till here done, right? Okay, now look here. I want equivalent resistance between A and B, right? That means what? That means between A and B, if you replace all of them by equivalent resistance, that means what? That means if you put the same battery, the same current should be drawn. That is why it is equivalent, right? So if you connect the same battery, I'm drawing like this. You can draw horizontally also, like this also, it doesn't matter. Okay. So between A and B, if you put the same battery with same EMF, the current flowing should remain the same. So 6I. Okay. So once you know this, now apply Ohm's law here. Internal resistance is not mentioned. So what if you apply Ohm's law? What will you get? Current is 6I, students, 6I. So 6I will be equal to EMF divided by equivalent resistance. This is your equation 2, let us call it. Call this one equation 1. This one. So from equation 1, we already found 6I by using Kirchhoff's voltage law. Already we have found current from the battery, which is 6I. This you understood, no? Ohm's law. This is your voltage because there is no internal resistance. So current is EMF by resistance. Current is EMF divided by resistance. Current flowing here is 6I, remember. Okay, students, that is why we call this equivalent. Equivalent means it should take the same current when you apply the same battery. The battery should not know that there is a difference between this and this. Then we call this equivalent. So already we have found 6I, yes or no, from Kirchhoff's voltage law. So substitute, Madi here, substitute, what will you get? 6E by 5R will be equal to E by R equivalent. So for 6I, I have substituted. So then you can see EMF will cancel. Obviously it should cancel because equivalent resistance should depend on the circuit, not on what battery you apply. So this gets cancelled, cross multiply. Equivalent resistance will be what? 5R by 6. Okay, so this is your answer. Numerically, if you want, just substitute the resistor of each value, 1 ohm, 6. 5 by 6 ohm. That is the answer. Okay, students? We will try to solve this later by using symmetry. Same answer we will get by using symmetry, and it will be more easy. Here, no, you have to do Kirchhoff's voltage law, means you have to show current first. After showing current, you have to apply KVL. After applying KVL, you have to replace all of them by equivalent circuit. Then find the equivalent current, the equivalent resistance. So it takes a little bit time. By using symmetry, you can easily do this problem. And on top of that, they will not always ask between these 2 points. They may ask between these 2 points also. Understood? They may ask between this point and this point also. So that this kind of problems will become very complicated if you use Kirchhoff's voltage law. But in entrance class, I will solve it by using symmetry. Okay, let us see the next question. Question number 4. There is a circuit diagram which is given And in the question itself, they have shown you the currents. Usually they don't do that. Currents you have to give yourself, like I did here. But in this question, currents they have shown themselves. The question paper will come with current in the diagram. So if current is in the diagram, be happy. You don't have to apply. Kirchhoff's current law and divide the current. They only have done it. So what they are saying is there is a circuit and they have shown you current and all. You have to find current I1. Current I1. So let us see where is I1.
So circuit looks like this. Battery, resistance, one more resistance. It is very simple. Don't get scared with the diagram. This is also resistance. Here also resistance. Here one battery. No resistance here.
It's a very simple circuit, students. Don't get scared.
This is 4 ohm. This is 2 ohm. This is 2 ohm. This is 4 ohm. Oh, yeah, this one I did not write. Can you tell me how much is this given? Please check your EPL. How much is this given?
1 ohm. Okay.
1 ohm. This battery is 5 volt. How much is this battery's voltage? That also I did not write. 10 volt. Okay, very good. So these are the values in the circuit. Now currents they have shown like this. So from this battery they have shown current I1 like this. I1. And out of I1, I2 is going here. So out of I1, if I2 will go there, remaining will go here. Remaining matlab I1 minus I2. So out of 10 ampere, if 2 ampere goes here, 8 ampere should go here, right? Then here I2 is coming. Here they have shown I3. This battery is sending current I3 like this they have shown. So here what will happen? I2 will come, I3 will come. So together they will flow here. This will be I2 plus I3. And at this point, here how much will go? See, I2 plus I3 is coming. I1 is going this way, I1. In this branch, same current will flow, na? So I1 is going like this. Out of this much is going. So remaining will be I2 plus I3 minus I1.
Minus I1. Okay. So these are the currents. We have to find I1. It is very clear that there are 3 unknowns. I1, I2, I3. Since there are 3 unknowns, you will need 3 equations. Yes or no? So to get 3 equations, you have to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in 3 loops. So let me give some names to these points.
Let me give names to these points. A, let me call it small letter. A, B, C, D, E.
It may not match with the book, but it doesn't matter. Okay.
So this is A, B, C, D, A, E. So let us apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in this loop first. So I will apply KVL in loop A, B, E, A. A, B, E, A. Okay, so let us start. Start from this point. Along the current drop. So positive. Current into resistance. Resistance is 4. Here along the current. So plus. Current is I2 plus I3. Current is this much. Resistance is 2. Then you have to go like this. Here also along the current. So plus I1 into resistance is 1. This is your resistance. Okay. And for this battery, you are going from minus to plus. Minus to plus matlab rise. So minus 10 volt. That should be 0. So let us write this in a proper way. First term I1, 4I2 plus 2 into I2 will be plus 6I2 plus 2I3 equals to 10.
This is your first equation. Okay. So how I did this? Apply KVL in this loop. Along the current, positive. Along the current, positive. Along the current, positive. Here minus to plus, so this rise. Rise we take negative. And for battery we write the EMF. Now take this loop. I always move this way, okay? This way. So one loop I'll take here, one loop I'll take here, one loop I'll take here. So apply KVL in loop AEDA. AEDA. It's a very good exercise for your brain. Aram se you do. Like this I'm going. So plus to minus drop. So battery's voltage will be plus. Against the current. Here I'm going this way, remember. So opposite to current. Minus I1 into 1 ohm. Here along the current. So plus. Current is I2 plus I3 minus I1. Resistance is 2. And here again I am going opposite to current. So it will be minus. Opposite to current minus. Current is I1 minus I2 into 4. Okay. So let me repeat. This 10 came from this potential difference of battery. This came from potential difference of this resistor, current into resistance. This third term came from potential difference here, and this last term came from potential difference here. For battery, plus to minus drop, I take positive, opposite to current negative, along the current positive, opposite to current negative. That will be 0. Okay, so let us write this also in this type. Minus I1 minus 4I1. So minus 5I1. Correct now? Please check carefully. And if I do any mistake, please tell me immediately. Okay, don't wait for 15 minutes like that. So minus I1 minus 4I1 minus 5I1. There is minus 2I1. Sorry, see. Minus 2I1 is also there. So minus 7I1. This minus 2I1 I forgot. Right? Now see I2. 2I2 plus 2I2 minus minus plus 4I2. So plus 6I2. Okay. Then I3, no I3 here, no I3 here, 2I3 plus 2I3. That will be equal to 10 will go that side. So minus 10. Okay. Now I don't want to keep here minus 10. Or let me keep it, no problem. So this is minus but okay. This is my second equation. So let me write the equations here because I have to rub. I1 plus 6I2 plus 2I3 equals to 10. First equation. Minus 7I1 plus 6I2 plus 2I3 equal to minus 10. Oh, I think I don't need another equation, ma. Wait. I think I don't need another equation. If I add this to, oh no, if I add, I will still get I3 and I1. No, I need one more equation. Did I do correctly? Check the signs once, all of you. Minus I1, minus 2I1, minus 3I1, minus 3I1, minus 4I1, minus 7I1. Then I2, 2I2, minus minus plus 4I2, 6I2. 2I3, then I took 10 that side, minus 10. Correct only. Till here, is it correct? Check here once, all of you. Subtract 1 and 2 will get answered. Yeah, I think if we subtract, yeah, I think students, if we subtract these two equations, we will get the answer. We don't have to go for the third equation. Thank you, Samyak. But every time it will not happen, okay? Every time it will not happen. Only this time you are lucky. So, subtracting equation 1 minus equation 2. If you subtract, what will you get? Check once. I1 minus 7I1, 8I1. Correct na? I1 this equation minus this equation. So I1 minus 7 I1, 8 I1. 6 I2 minus 6 I2 cancel. 2 I3 minus 2 I3 cancel. 10 minus 10. 10 minus 10 will be 20. So I1 will be 20 by 8. 10 by 4 5s are 4 2s are. So 2.5 ampere. Okay, now I will give you one homework, everybody. I1 I got easily without writing the third equation. But suppose they want you to calculate I2 and I3. Oh, then also we don't need, because we can substitute this I1 here. You can substitute this I1 here. Then you will get two equations, two unknowns. So easily you can solve. Okay. So luckily here we don't need another equation. Have you solved three simultaneous equations, students? Have you solved two equations? I think obviously you have solved. Three simultaneous equations you have solved, right? Okay. Fine. Then you can do it aramse, no problem. But in this problem, no need to do, because as you can notice, if you subtract this and this, easily your answer will come. Last problem we will do. And the thing is, in this question, we have to use three equations. Two equations will not help. Done? Everybody done? Okay. So please don't get scared when you see a very dangerous kind of circuit. Aram say you distribute the current, and in this question they only distributed the current. You don't have to do that also. So the last question, number 5, is they've given you a network which looks like Wheatstone bridge, and it is a Wheatstone bridge actually. That's why I did Wheatstone bridge first. So here 1 ohm, here 2 ohm, here 10 ohm, here 2 ohm, here 4 ohm. Can you check how much battery they are applying? Can you check how much battery voltage they are applying? I did not write. You may have to read the question if there is no diagram. Okay, 10 volt. 10 volt. You have to find current through this branch. Current in this branch. Now you may say 0 like that. First you have to check now. You have to check whether it is balanced or not balanced. Is it balanced? Is this Wheatstone bridge balanced? Oh, wait. This is not the one. This is the first one I think I gave. So I think you will have to help me now. Not this. Correct. Tell me the value here. I'm sorry, students. I don't have the that today my questions with me. Here 10 ohm. Okay. Now don't tell. Now so many should not tell. Do one thing. No one should tell. Only Gauri, only one of you tell. Anyone. Okay. How much is this one? 5 ohm. How much is this one? Shri Gauri, you can tell. 10 ohm. Sure. Okay. This one 5 ohm, I think. Correct? 5 ohm only, I think. And this one? This one? 5. Okay. Okay. So now check whether this is balanced or not balanced. It is not balanced. It is very clear it is not balanced. Okay. Because P by Q will come 10 by 5, 2. But R by S will come 5 by 10. That will come 1 by 2. So it is very clear the circuit is not a balanced bridge. So please don't remove this one. You cannot remove now. Now current will flow. And they are asking how much current will flow. Okay, so let us distribute current first. There is another 10 ohm resistor beside the battery. Okay. Here 10 ohm is there. Okay. So please understand first thing, that doesn't matter, left side, right side. Now, first thing you check here, please understand that there will be some current here. Okay, so first we have to distribute the current. Now, to make our equation simple and for making our writing simple, let me not write I1, I2 like that. I will use X, okay, X, Y, Z. So let me say, look carefully, current here is X. Current here is X, X ampere. Then that X will divide here, Y let's say. And here how much will flow? Don't write Z, right? Kirchhoff's current law. X is coming, Y is going, remaining will go here. X minus Y. Okay. Then Y is coming, here Z is going, let's say. So out of Y, Z is going. So remaining will go here. How much it will be? Y minus Z. Y is coming, Z I am showing here. So remaining will go here. Y minus Z. Here you see Z is coming, X minus Y is coming. So this will be X minus Y plus Z. And here these two will add. Check carefully what will happen when they add. Y and minus Y will cancel. Minus Z and plus Z will cancel. So X you will get. So here X will flow. Okay. So this is how the current will distribute. I'm using X, Y, Z so that it is easy for me to write down. Now, let us call this point A, B, C, D, E, F. So three unknowns are there, X, Y, and Z. But in the question, they are asking only Z. So only Z. So start applying KVL. Apply KVL in loop A, B, D, A. A, B, D, A. Okay. Along the current, positive. Current is Y. Resistance is 10. So I can write directly 10Y. Okay, 10Y. This is current, this is resistance. Okay. Here, along the current, so drop, positive. Plus, current is Z, resistance is 5. So 5Z. Here, opposite to current, so minus. Current is X minus Y. Resistance is 5. So it will be 5X minus Y. No battery in this circuit. No battery in this loop. So once you come back, this algebraic sum should be 0. Okay, so this way, if you write X, Y, Z, it is little easy to solve. So let me write this as minus 5X minus plus 5Y, 5Y plus 10Y plus 15Y plus 5Z equal to 0. Check once. Minus 5X minus plus 5Y, 5Y plus 10Y, 15Y plus 5Z. Let us divide both the sides by 5 to make it more simple. Minus X plus 3Y plus Z equal to 0. So this is my first equation. Okay. Now apply KVL in loop BCDB. BCDB. Like this I move. Like this I move all the time. So B to C, drop. Drop matlab positive. Current is Y minus Z. Resistance is 5. So 5 into Y minus Z. I into R. Ohm's law. Here opposite to current. So minus. Resistance is 10. Current is X minus Y plus Z. Here opposite to current, because I am going like this. Opposite to current minus. 5 is the resistance. Current is Z. That will be equal to 0. Write this also this way. Minus 10X first. Minus 10X. No X, right? So minus 10Y minus 10y plus 5y minus 5y minus 5y. Let us check. 5y minus oh no, correct only, minus is plus 15. Plus, so always check once. See, minus 10 minus y will be plus 10y plus 10y plus 5y 15y. And what about z? Minus 5z minus 15z minus 5z. So minus 20z. Okay. B, C, D, B. Correct. So how, again divide both the sides by 5. So you will get minus 2x plus 3y minus 10z equal to 0. Equation 2. Okay, everybody once check once. Minus 25z. Srikuri, let me check again. Minus 5z minus 10z minus 15z minus 15z minus 5z minus 20z only. Check once. Sir, it's 4z. Huh? Where it is 4z? Where it is 4z? Acha, acha. I'm dividing by 5. No, sorry. Correct. But this is 15 only, na? This is minus 20z, correct, na? Okay. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. This time to get z, you can see if you directly add or subtract, it may not happen. So you will have to develop one more equation. Okay. So please keep note of this equation. Let me write here also. Minus x plus 3y plus z equal to 0, first equation. Now let us develop the last equation. For the last loop, you can choose this loop with the battery, this loop, or you can choose this loop. I will choose this one, okay, because I can see y minus z here. Here no too many things are there, so I don't want to come here. So applying KVL in which loop? A, B, D, sorry, A, B, C. Then you go to outside E, F, E, F, A. Okay, let us apply 10y directly this time here plus 5y minus z. Here along the current plus 10x. Battery is there, minus 2 plus rise minus 10 equal to 0. Everybody understood? This time I did without explanation. Alright, so many times I have already explained. Drop positive, drop positive, drop positive, rise negative. For battery it is rise. Okay? Then how much will I get? 10x, 10y plus 5y plus 15y minus 5z. And this minus 10 I will take that side, plus 10. Let me divide by 5 again. 2x, 3y minus z equals to 2. Equation 3. Check one, students, correct or not correct. So now diagram, please get out now. So let us write all the three equations together. Minus x plus 3y plus z equal to 0. First equation. Then minus 2x plus 3y minus 4z equal to 0. Second equation. And third equation is 2x plus 3y minus z equals to 2. Now remember, students, I want z. So if you know what you want, you can do it faster. Since I want z, I want to remove x and y. So I will now first make two equations between y and z. So I will try to remove x. So what I will do, see, these two I can add. So adding equation 2 and 3. Why I am doing this? That way I can remove x. So if I add this two, what will happen? Minus 2x plus 2x cancel. 3y plus 3y, 6y. minus 4z minus z minus 5z. I'm adding, remember, this plus this. Okay. And 0 plus 2, 2. So I got one equation with y and z. I need one more. So these two I use. Now I want to use these two. So what I will do, I will multiply equation 1 by 2 first. I will multiply equation 1 with 2. Now you can only solve, I know, but let me still do it. Still 5 minutes is there. So equation 1, I will multiply with 2. So if I multiply equation 1 with 2, what will I get? Minus 2x plus 6y plus 2z equal to 0. This is your equation 1 only, right? Because I'm just multiplying by 2. Then what you do, this new equation here, you add with this. Add this, add with equation 3. What will you get? Minus 2x plus 2x cancel. 6y plus 3y, 9y. Plus 2z minus z plus z equal to 0 plus 2, 2. Equation 5. Check once everybody, correct or not correct. So what I did, I multiplied this with equation 2. And then you can either subtract with this or add with this, because I want to first cancel x. So you have to cancel x using these three equations. Using two of them, cancel x. Using two of them, cancel x. So that what will you get now? Two equations with two unknown. Check once, students, once. Correct? These are the same equations which we did before. Same equations, nothing here. Yeah. So now what I have to do, I have to remove y. So to remove y, what I will do, equation 4, this equation 4 into 9, let me do. Okay, 9. So if I do with 9, 9 6 are 54z, sorry, 54y minus 9 5s are 45z, 9 2s are 18. So I multiply this with 9 and I multiply this with what number? Hello, you have solved simultaneous equation or not? So this number I multiply with 9. So this number you multiply with 6. Then you will get 6 9s are 54y plus 6z, 6 2s are 12. Get lost? Oh, but first you subtract. So minus, minus, minus. Because you are getting 54, 54, so you have to subtract. So if you subtract 54, 54 will cancel. So this will be minus, minus to be plus. So it will be minus 151. 51z equals to 6. Right? Check once, all of you. So z will be finally minus 51 by 6 amperes. So this is the current through the plus 45z. Oh, I wrote 54. Where? Equation 4 into 9, 9 6 are 54, 9 5s are 45, that is correct. Then this with 6, 6 9s are 54, 6 1s are 6, 6 2s are 12. Correct only? Correct only. So this is your answer. Now minus sign means what? Minus sign means the actual current. If you see this circuit, if you remember, the way I showed the current was like this, right? Z was this way, but now I know I got minus. That means actual current is flowing this way. Actual current is flowing this way. Okay, keep in mind. Thank you, students. Sorry, 6 by 51. Okay, thank you all of you. Take care. So, lot of problems we did today. Please practice them. Such lengthy problems, I don't think it has never come in board exams. Okay, so but still, since it is there in our NCERT textbook, I should do it. Take care.